Agreed to. I call the member for Forrest.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And I want to confine my remarks around this private member's motion around the Australian University Accord to regional and rural and more remote students. And these young Australians have certainly had a really tough time under the Albanese government, with the cost of living pressures pushing many of them to breaking point along with their families. They've had, skyrocketing increases in whether it's housing, power, groceries, fuel, the housing crisis, making it almost impossible to find an affordable place to live, particularly in the large cities. And that's been driven by Labor's high inflation and the mismanagement of their economic and policy decisions. But when I look at my students, and I'm getting an increasing number of parents coming to see me about the real challenges their family in the regions, their family is facing and the families are facing just in trying to support their students to actually be able to go to university. Because the students in my area that want to study things like medicine, law, engineering, they have no choice but to move away from the southwest of the state and often more widely from regional remote parts of the state to Perth to study those courses. They are not available in a regional university within their areas. So the real problem we've seen is the actual cost of that accommodation, specifically at the moment. And we've seen in WA that the rental market alone is extremely low at 0.4% only. And when we look at the student accommodation, in WA, there are 27 students for every purpose-built student accommodation bed. That's the competition. So when you're a young person coming from the southwest of the state and you have no choice but to move to Perth to pursue your education dreams and the opportunities, the family really has to bear the cost of that. And at the moment, along with the high cost of living that people are facing and the families are facing, this is now a bridge too far, and I've not seen anything from the Labor government to address that. I've seen Labor remove those rural and regional enterprise scholarships, and also we saw the axing of the Destination Australia program to support students studying in the regions as well. But for those students that have no choice but to move, the actual cost of rental and accommodation is massive, and we have seen just a significant increase. I think it's almost a doubling of international students come into our WA universities. Again, that puts even further pressure on our rural and regional students. And I sort of had a look in some of the university annual reports to see how they reported the numbers of regional remote students, in their lists of the students that they were supporting and that they were representing and that were represented at their colleges, but there's no such figure in those annual reports. So it is a real challenge. I have families with two parents working to try to keep one child at university. The rent is at least $30,000 a year alone for them. Now, for families, I've got families with two jobs for each parent in an effort, and then they've got a second child coming that really wants or needs to go to university in Perth as well. The family has no choice here. Either the child can go to a university in Perth to study their preferred course, or that course can't be done in our local university in the southwest. So the family does everything it absolutely can. But to the parents who are coming to see me, I've represented you on this issue repeatedly in this place, and I will continue to do so. But can I just make the House aware that this is a rising problem in the regions for students, and it wouldn't be just in my electorate. This is being felt right around Australia for those students who have no choice but to move to a city to study. With this massive increase in international students, the competition for the accommodation, the lack of rentals, it is a massive issue for our regional students. And the placement uncertainty is there too, because there are a whole range of other different courses where their students are forced to undergo placements where there is no support, whether that's speech pathology, whether it's GPs.
Time has expired.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you.